Okay, what I'm going to do here is take you through this essay, and I'm going to split up the video so that it's a kind of smaller video, shorter video, so it's more manageable. So the first part is going to just be about the introduction. So let's go ahead and take a look. Um, so we're looking at our MLA format here, and I wanted to show you a couple of things. Here is all the information that you need up top, and then the title. And the real important thing about this is that everything is double spaced. You don't have any extra spaces in here. You don't have any kind of weird or different font for the title either. So you don't want the title to have quotation marks on it, or it shouldn't be bold, it shouldn't be larger font, it should just look like this. I know it's not very pretty, but that's just the way that it's supposed to be. And then the other thing that you can do, if you know how, is to put a header up here on the page number, and that is going to be your last name. And then when you put the page numbers in, then it will automatically show, first page, second page, and so on. But if you don't do that, that's okay. It doesn't really matter. And then the final thing for just this top part is you want to make sure that all of your paragraphs are indented. So you just use the tab key to come over. Okay, so when we take a look at this introduction, he does a really great job of starting with some super general, actually one kind of real general sentence about education, then gets into a little bit more about the US, then gets a little more specific with the talking about this quote from this article. And when we can take a look at the quote, we see it's in a perfect citation sandwich. So according to, and we've got the name of the article, and he also mentions the name of the author there. And when he mentions the name of the author, what that does is means that you don't have to mention it here. You just put the page number. So this is the top part of the citation sandwich, and then we've got our quotation in here along with the page number, and the quotation should have quotation marks around it, of course, and then the parentheses is supposed to be here with the period on the outside. So the idea is that you want this, whatever's inside the parentheses, to be inside your sentence. And then he does a really good job of putting the bottom bun on the rest of the citation sandwich. He uses the term "in other words." And remember, I suggested that you could say "this shows," or "this means," or "this proves," but this is absolutely another way to do it. That's also great. In other words, and then he just says what it means. Okay, and then that's his own words, but that's a way of connecting the quote to your paragraph and making sure that your reader can understand why you're even using the quote in the first place. One more little detail, and that is that we've got quotation marks here around the title of the article. So anytime you have the title of a whole book or a whole name of a magazine, like Time Magazine or People Magazine, or if you have the name of a whole website, you want it to be in italics. But when you have one article or one chapter or one piece of a whole book, then you're going to put it in quotation marks. So this is an article, and it's found inside a magazine, so we need to put quotation marks around it. Oh, one more thing that he does really well is he gives us the background of the case that makes it really clear to the reader. So what you want to make sure that you do is you want to pretend like you're writing to someone who has not read the articles, who has no familiarity whatsoever. They've never heard of the cases. They don't know anything about it, and you are explaining it to them. So that's why this background information and the introduction is so important, because you have to lay it all down, make sure that your reader understands everything, so then that way when you get to your body paragraphs, then you're ready to go and you can explain. You don't have to worry about it. But when he does this thing like saying, according to the article, and then he says what's in the article, that's perfect. So you wouldn't want to say, you know, actually using the words, you know, the article says, without introducing the article to us and telling us what the article is about. And the same with the case here. You really have to, if you're going to refer to the case, you have to give a little bit of background about it and say what it is before you say why it's important. Okay. Okay, so he gets to the more specifics of the case, and then he has this great thesis statement. It's pretty long. It's a more complicated and extensive than the one that I suggested to you. And he really has a lot of information here. So I know exactly what his opinion is, okay, that everybody, including immigrants, have the same right to education. And the reason that they do is because it's going to help society. So that's what he's saying. So once he says this, then I'm going to expect that in the body, that's what he's going to be focusing on. Okay. All right. I'll see you in the next video.